Previously, Li Chijing reached Foundation establishment and revealed a terrifying sword intent only to be taken deep into the southern border and sacrificed as an ingredient for alchemy. Back at Lijing Mountain, the Li clan remains unaware of his fate as Liu Changdie begins constructing a powerful new mountain-protecting formation, and the family enters a period of rapid growth. But beneath the celebrations, Li Yuanjiao is about to uncover the truth behind King Qi Sect's darkest secret and realize that his younger brother will never return home. Let's continue with Reborn as an Ancient Mirror, Episode 18. 120 Spirit Stones? Li Xuanfeng touched the storage bag at his waist, looking somewhat embarrassed. The amount of spirit stones he had brought from home was still a little short of that figure, and for a moment he hesitated, unsure how to respond. Liu Changdie smiled. That is only the normal market price. Since it is your Li clan, 100 spirit stones will be enough. You mean it? Delight immediately appeared on Li Xuanfeng's face, mixed with surprise and suspicion. Seeing Liu Changdie speak with such certainty, he could not help thinking to himself, 20 spirit stones is no small amount. That is several years of income for my clan, and it is almost the entire liquid wealth carried by an ordinary qi refining cultivator. Formation masters are usually wealthy, but surely not so generous that they can casually give away 20 spirit stones. This man is deliberately trying to befriend the Li clan. It seems little uncle really has become a figure everyone wants to approach inside the sect. Even that disciple of Mount Lijing Peak came down from the cloud ship to make my acquaintance. Now Liu Changdie is also rushing to curry favor with us. With that thought, Li Xuanfeng quickly made up his mind. The clan urgently needed this mountain-protecting formation, and Liu Changdie was still young yet already a renowned formation master. In the future, the Li clan might well need to ask him to repair or strengthen the formation. Friendship would benefit both sides. Seeing Liu Changdie nod repeatedly, Li Xuanfeng understood exactly what he wanted and smiled. The Li clan will remember this favor. Once the formation is complete, if Master Liu ever travels near Wangyue Lake, you are welcome to stay with my clan. Allow us to fulfill the duties of a host. This was precisely what Liu Changdie had been waiting to hear. He was delighted and nodded again and again. Naturally, if your esteemed clan ever needs another formation arranged in the future, simply come find me. Throughout all of Lixia Commandery, you will not find anyone who charges the Li clan less than I do. Both men had their own calculations, and both were satisfied. One had secured a promising formation master for his clan with a promise of friendship, while the other had successfully placed a wager on the Li clan, while it was still relatively weak. The more they looked at one another, the more pleasing the arrangement seemed. Xiao Yongling sat beside them, witnessing the entire exchange while calmly drinking his tea with a smile. I will go prepare the materials immediately. Brother Xuanfeng, wait here for a while. I will return shortly. Liu Changdie cupped his hands toward the two men, then rose into the air and departed on the wind. The two remaining men drank together on the mountain for a time. Xiao Yongling watched Li Xuanfeng sink into thought and smiled knowingly. That man seems to know a great deal about your clan. Indeed, I was wondering about that as well. Li Xuanfeng nodded. The elders of my family are not loose-tongued people. Little uncle should not have spread these matters casually either. Liu Changdie may possess astonishing talent in formations, but his manner of speaking and dealing with people is hardly flawless. The problem is that little uncle had already returned to the sect by the time I was born, so I know very little about what truly happened back then. It is difficult for me to tell which parts are true and which are false. Xiao Yongling considered his words for several breaths, set down his teacup, and smiled. At the very least, we can see that he genuinely wishes to befriend your clan. Your Li clan also has use for him. If both sides take what they need, that is enough. That is what I was thinking as well. Li Xuanfeng nodded in agreement. The two spoke of other matters until the sky slowly darkened. At last, Liu Changdie descended onto the mountain once again. He cupped his hands toward them, visibly excited. There is no reason to delay. Let us leave tonight. Li Xuanfeng stood and bid farewell to Xiao Yongling. The latter smiled at him and reminded him. Do not forget the jade slip I asked you to bring back to Brother Tongya. Li Xuanfeng repeatedly assured him that he would not. He and Liu Changdie then took their leave of Xiao Yongling, rose into the night sky and flew westward. After several hours of travel through the darkness, passing above the territories of various clans, while talking and laughing along the way, they finally descended onto Mount Lijing. The moment his feet touched the ground, Liu Changdie curiously looked around. Excitement flickered in his eyes. At this point in time, the famed Moon Gang sword Li Tongya has not yet reached Foundation establishment. I wonder whether he is currently on the mountain. If I can meet him once, that would be ideal. He raised his head and saw a young man in his 20s approaching. The young man's expression held a trace of surprise as he looked at the two newcomers and cupped his hands. Li Clan, Li Xuanyuan. Greetings, fellow Taoist. No need for such courtesy. Liu Changdie of Lixia Commandery greets you. Liu Changdie returned the salute and studied the man before him carefully. Something about Li Xuanyuan vaguely resembled Li Yuanjiao from his memories. This is Formation Master Liu Changdie, Li Xuanfeng explained. He has come to repair and rebuild our clan's grand formation. Understanding dawned on Li Xuanyuan's face. He warmly invited Liu Changdie into the courtyard, had tea served, and immediately said, "I will go invite granduncle." "Oh?" The instant Liu Changdie arrived near the rear mountain, Liu Jiangxian softly exclaimed in surprise. He put down the shapeless mass of Taiyan moonlight he had been working with, dispersed his manifested form, and extended his invisible divine sense toward Liu Changdie. There is the scent of Gang Qi on him. His divine sense swept across the man. Liu Changdie's 6 wheels and 3 apertures, from the mystic realm wheel down to the Lingshu wheel, appeared clearly before Liu Jiangxian, yet there was nothing abnormal within them. Strange. Liu Jiangxian frowned slightly and forcefully pointed at Liu Changdie. His divine sense immediately surged into the man's Xianxia palace. A flood of fragmented images flashed before him, and a hazy silver silhouette gradually emerged. Great evolution, heavenly mystery. Liu Jiangxian sensed the power for a moment, then slowly read the silvery seal characters floating before him. Deduce the future. Calculate hidden mysteries. Measure what comes before and after. The master's affairs remain undecided. The Great Evolution Heavenly Mystery Gang was not actually residing inside Liu Changdie. Rather, Liu Changdie must once have come into contact with this Gang Qi and been influenced by it. Liu Jiangxian mobilized the remnant power left inside Liu Changdie's body. Images immediately unfolded before him. He saw multitudes of people crying in despair. He saw the Great Huang suffer catastrophe. He saw immortal clans destroyed and demonic calamities ravaging the world. Countless events appeared one after another, as though Liu Changdie had truly lived through all of them before awakening from a dream and returning to his 20s or 30s. So that is it. The Great Evolution Heavenly Mystery Gang fabricated more than 70 years of memories for him. Everything within those memories was deduced by the Gang Qi based on the circumstances of the present. Liu Changdie did not actually travel back through time. If genuine temporal reversal were involved, there is no way a mere Gang Qi could accomplish it. Even the Liu Jiangxian of several centuries in the future might not have been capable of reversing time, much less a single strand of Gang Qi. Liu Jiangxian gently gathered the power together and closed his hand around it, leaving only the deduced memories behind in Liu Changdie's Xianxia palace. Those memories can remain as your opportunity. But this power of deduction originally belonged to me, so I will take it back. Although Liu Jiangxian possessed powerful divine sense, he lacked the refined techniques needed to manipulate it. Altering another person's memories was far beyond him. If not for the remnant Gang Qi lingering inside Liu Changdie's Xianxia palace, he would not even have been able to inspect those memories. There was no trace of Liu Jiangxian himself anywhere in the fabricated future, so he did not concern himself with it further. What is strange is that these memories contain no clue about the Gang Qi itself. I wonder where he encountered it. A Gang Qi with such mysterious properties must be at least Golden Core grade or higher. If I could obtain the complete source, that would be ideal. Liu Jiangxian withdrew his divine sense. At once, Liu Changdie felt a sudden chill crawl down his back, as though cold wind had swept across him. The teacup in his hand trembled slightly. He could not explain what was wrong, only that something felt deeply unsettling. Beside him, Li Xuanyuan and Li Xuanfeng abruptly stood and bowed respectfully. Liu Changdie looked up. A middle-aged man had entered the courtyard. He wore a plain gray robe. His brows were long and unhurried, his cheeks lean, his shoulders broad. The composure of middle age naturally rested upon him, giving him a steady and imposing air. A sword hung at his waist, concealed entirely within its scabbard. Liu Changdie hurriedly rose and saluted respectfully. Liu Changdie of Lixia Commandery greets Senior. Li Tongya raised an eyebrow as he looked at him, then nodded lightly. Master Liu is too courteous. Li Tongya took the principal seat. Only then did Li Xuanyuan and Li Xuanfeng sit down, both sitting upright and proper, without the slightest hint of casual behavior. Liu Changdie, meanwhile, found himself face to face with a legendary figure from the memories of his so-called previous life. He was excited and restrained at the same time. Li Tongya examined him for a moment. The man was only at the 2nd level of qi refining and appeared to be in his 20s or early 30s. Yet his manner was strangely restrained. He had addressed Li Tongya as senior from the moment they met. Xuanfeng is not someone who exaggerates such matters. If this man is truly this young and already accomplished in formations, his talent must indeed be considerable. Yet he shows none of the arrogance of youth. Perhaps he is simply unusually mature for his age. Li Tongya smiled gently. Master Liu, how do you intend to arrange my clan's formation? Senior, my plan is this. Liu Changdie still carried a trace of nervous excitement. He quickly repeated the explanation he had given Li Xuanfeng at Cloudwatch Peak. Knowing that Li Chijing was Li Tongya's own younger brother, he restrained himself slightly and no longer spoke with the same expansive confidence. He merely mentioned that he had once met Li Chijing within King Qi sect. Li Xuanfeng added what he had learned at Cloudwatch Peak. Li Tongya had not received any news of Li Chijing for many years. His heart surged with emotion, though his expression remained calm as he listened. Li Xuanyuan, sitting nearby, was equally excited. In his mind, he could almost see Li Chijing standing above a great city, sword in hand, forcing back powerful enemies. After the two juniors finished recounting everything, Li Tongya finally smiled. Good, good, good! Chijing is alive and well in the southern border. We can finally put our minds at ease. He silently repeated those words to himself, then returned the discussion to the mountain formation. After listening to Liu Changdie's design, he nodded. Master Liu may proceed however you see fit. The Li clan will cooperate fully. Xuanyuan, you will assist Master Liu with this Sunrite Mystic Light formation. Yes, both men answered immediately. Li Tongya spoke with them for a little while longer before taking his leave. Once he departed, the atmosphere relaxed considerably. The remaining three men began discussing the precise positions of the formation nodes. 8 banners will be planted on Lijing Peak, corresponding to the mountain structure and the directions of Qian, Kan, Zhen, and Zhen. 4 banners will be placed on Mixi Peak, corresponding to Shun, Li, Kun, and Dui. 8 elevated platforms must be constructed in total. Each will be engraved with numerous formation patterns. They will serve as the formation's primary nodes, greatly reducing the burden on the array while increasing the spiritual qi gathered within the mountains. The 3 left the courtyard and walked several circuits around the mountain, confirming each location one by one. With Li Tongya's approval, the entire Li clan immediately mobilized. Workers from all 4 towns were summoned toward Lijing. More than 1,000 laborers climbed the mountain, while villagers hauled timber and stone upward. Under Liu Changdie's direction, construction of the elevated platforms began at the designated formation nodes. Every platform had strict requirements regarding dimensions and internal structure. Different materials were needed for different nodes, and the arrangement inside each platform was intricate. A mountain-protecting grand formation was entirely different from the small arrays commonly used to protect cave dwellings. Such a formation was intended to endure for years or even decades, and constructing one was no simple matter. The process would take 5 or 6 months. For that entire period, Liu Changdie would have to remain with the Li clan. Determining the positions, carving the formation patterns, and coordinating the array could not be done without him. Li Xuanyuan arranged a small courtyard for Liu Changdie at the foot of the mountain, making daily communication convenient. Liu Changdie did not disappoint them. Every day he traveled throughout the mountains, personally supervising the work. It was obvious that he treated the project seriously. Only after seeing this did Li Xuanyuan reorganize the workers and turn his attention to other matters. A clan soldier soon came to report that the Liu clan had arrived. The wedding would take place in only a few days. So soon? Li Xuanyuan frowned slightly. He could not help wondering about Liu Cici's physical condition. Qi refining cultivators could theoretically live for 200 years, but cultivators suffered serious wounds and hidden injuries throughout their lives. Losing 10 or more years of lifespan was common. Could it be that Liu Cici's body was already beginning to fail? Bring them up to see me. Li Xuanyuan had already placed Li Xuanling's marriage on the clan schedule, so he immediately began making arrangements for the wedding. Mount Lijing became so busy that the noise never seemed to stop. Yet the foot of the mountain was even livelier. The Li clan's lesser branches and collateral lines now numbered several thousand people. Most lived around the base of Mount Lijing. Every household hung lanterns and colored silk. The deep green mountains were dotted with brilliant red decorations. The senior members of the clan knew that the marriage alliance between the Li and Liu clans had been forced upon the Liu clan by circumstance. Li Chuyang, representing the lesser branches, could also guess most of the truth. But the ordinary collateral branches knew very little. They only knew that the Liu clan was a great eastern family that occupied its lands for 2 or 3 centuries. To them, a marriage alliance between 2 immortal clans was a matter of tremendous honor. They decorated their homes voluntarily, filling the mountain with red banners and festive lights. Young disciples of the Li clan gathered near the village entrance, curiously watching for the wedding procession. Someone whispered, "I heard the bride is also a cultivator with a spiritual aperture." The Liu clan really is sincere. They are even marrying over a direct line daughter with a spiritual aperture. The lesser branches and collateral lines of the Li clan now numbered nearly 4,000 people. Most already considered themselves descendants of immortals and carried a certain pride in that identity. The Yi branch remained relatively restrained, but the minor lines descended from Li Mutian had become highly influential throughout the four towns. People constantly sought their favor. If Li Mutian had not established clan law before his death and formed a dedicated group to watch over these branches, many of them might already have become arrogant wastrels who considered themselves above everyone else. From afar, the Liu clan's wedding procession finally appeared along the ancient Li Road. The road had already been covered with red silk. Clan soldiers in embroidered uniforms stood guard along both sides, watching the gathering youth so closely that none dared misbehave, no matter how curious they were. I wonder what she looks like? Brother, people from the main household are watching. Restrain yourself. Inside the swaying carriage, Liu Yuanjiao endured the long, bumpy journey. An ordinary mortal might already have been vomiting and half unconscious from the road, but she possessed cultivation and could tolerate the discomfort without much trouble. The unease of her body, however, was nothing compared with the sorrow in her heart. I thought possessing a spiritual aperture meant that I would have some control over my own life. I never imagined it would only make me a more valuable tool for marriage. She listened to the conversations outside and felt lost. When the carriage finally reached the large courtyard at the foot of the mountain, Liu Yuanjiao went through the ceremonies like a puppet controlled by unseen strings. From early morning until nightfall, she followed one ritual after another. At some point, she heard the calm, steady voice of Li Xuanfeng from the other side. His words were firm and measured, and her heart relaxed slightly. She occasionally stole a glance at him. The young man opposite her had a resolute face and an extraordinary bearing. Relatives were turning him this way and that according to the wedding customs, and there was helplessness in his eyes, but also warmth. The red and gold groom's robes made his already refined appearance even more striking. Some of the sorrow in Liu Yuanjiao's heart faded. At least spending my life beside a handsome face will be easier. The servant said he is the third legitimate son of the Li clan. Li Xuanyuan is stern and upright. Li Xuanfeng is wild and unrestrained. Li Xuanling is gentle and courteous. Of the three, he should be the easiest to live with. She thought carefully about her situation. Li Xuanling had not yet reached 20, yet he was already at the third level of the embryonic breath realm. He was almost certain to become a qi refining cultivator one day. He was steady in temperament and outstanding in appearance. Among all the surrounding clans, apart from Jingming of the An clan, how many young men could compare with him? If anything, Liu Cixi had used the future of the entire Liu clan to marry her upward. The teenage girl finally understood the situation clearly. She lowered her head and smiled faintly. Moonlight entered through the window and fell across the dark red sleeves of her wedding robes. Liu Yuanjiao gently adjusted them, and for the first time she felt a small trace of anticipation for the life ahead. Then someone suddenly shouted from the nearby courtyard. "Clan head, your wife has given birth." "What?" A slightly older voice answered at once, followed by hurried footsteps and a chorus of congratulations. "Double happiness! Double happiness has arrived at once!" The wedding courtyard was noisy and joyous. In another courtyard, however, the atmosphere was quiet and cool. Mu Yalu lay exhausted, damp bangs clinging in strands to her face. The cunning brightness usually found in her eyes had been replaced by weariness. She looked lovingly at the infant on the small bed, then turned toward the servants with a cold expression. "Li Xuanyuan still has not come?" The servants were frightened and immediately dropped to their knees. Clan head is attending young Master Xuanling's wedding. He has not returned yet. We already sent someone to inform him. His own child is being born, yet the father is still outside. Before she could finish, hurried footsteps sounded outside. Li Xuanyuan pushed open the door with two servants behind him. His voice carried obvious apology. "Yalu!" Mu Yalu glared at him. Li Xuanyuan hurried over and picked up the wrinkled infant, laughing happily. "What shall we call him?" Mu Yalu raised her head and brushed away the damp hair stuck to her face. "Clan head, I thought of a name long ago. Let me hear it." A beautiful smile bloomed on Mu Yalu's face. "Li Yuanjiao, Jiao the Lesser Dragon, a creature of the dragon kindred, able to command fish, hide within deep pools, rise among clouds and summon wind and rain. An excellent omen indeed." Li Xuanyuan stroked the faint beard on his chin and nodded approvingly. He looked down at the baby in his arms. The child was wrinkled all over, with damp hair stuck to his forehead. After examining him for a while, Li Xuanyuan carefully returned him to the small bed. He now had 3 sons and 2 daughters. His legitimate son Li Yuanxiao was already 3 years old, while some of the other children were as old as 5. Mu Yalu came from a hereditary Xianyue shaman lineage, so her son had a relatively high chance of possessing a spiritual aperture. Li Xuanyuan naturally paid a little more attention to him. Everyone is celebrating today. This truly is an auspicious day. Have Jiewen send some things down the mountain so that everyone can share in the joy. After issuing the order, Li Xuanyuan remained with Mu Yalu for a while. Once she fell asleep, someone from the mountain came looking for him again. He tucked the blanket around her and reluctantly left. There was simply too much work within the clan. Li Xiaojuan had never been one to shirk responsibility. He often went to Li Tongya to study talisman arts, and in private he spent day and night researching on his own. He had begun learning talismans at 7 years old. Several years ago, he reached the 5th level of the embryonic breath realm, and finally became capable of drawing proper talismans himself. With Li Tongya's guidance and years of accumulated insight, his progress had become increasingly smooth. But it also meant his days were busier than ever. The celebrations at the foot of the mountain continued for several days. Once the Liu clan left behind a handful of servants and withdrew the rest of its people, work on the mountain also returned to a steady rhythm. During the wedding, too many unfamiliar people had been moving around Mount Lijing. Li Tongya had been uneasy about leaving the ancient mirror unattended in the rear courtyard, so he temporarily moved his cultivation from the cave dwelling on Mixi mountain back to the ancestral compound. Behind a gauze curtain, Li Jingtian sat with a brush in hand, tilting her head in thought. Her long hair was coiled up, and from time to time she wrote something onto a length of silk while murmuring softly to herself. In the 7th month, the 17th daughter of the Liu clan married into the Li clan's direct line. The clan head's wife, Lady Mu of the Yalu branch, gave birth to a son named Zhao. Her brush paused. Beside the line she added a smaller annotation. It is also said that the Eastern Shenyu Mu lineage, Mu Yalu, and Mu Xiaomen share blood ties with Jia Nixi, former lord of the Shenyue. While compiling the clan history, Li Jiangxian had once questioned a huilot about the matter. A huilot had claimed that Mu Xiaomen and Jia Nixi were related by blood. She had never truly believed it. Jia Nixi was at least a genuine hero of his generation. The difference between him and Mu Xiaomen is simply too great. No matter how I look at it, they do not seem like men of the same bloodline. Still, Mu Yalu and Mu Xiaomen were siblings. The matter involved the bloodline of the clan's direct descendants. Even if it was only a rumor, Li Jingtian felt obligated to record it as a note. She dipped her brush into the inkstone beside her. Only then did she remember that she had not yet personally seen the child. She decided that she would go down the mountain later and take a look. After calculating the date, another thought surfaced. Her own marriage with Chen Donghe was also drawing near. Li Jingtian continued writing the clan history behind the curtain. In another courtyard still decorated with strips of red silk, Li Xuanfeng stood beneath the morning breeze. The faint scent of spent firecrackers still lingered in the air, mingling with the cool wind and producing an oddly pleasant atmosphere. Li Tongya held a jade slip in his hand. He stared at the shallow patterns carved across its surface for more than 10 breaths before speaking softly. 200 years of customs and events in Linghai Commandery? Yes. Li Xuanfeng nodded and cupped his hands. The long arrows at his waist knocked together with a few crisp clicks, while the black bow across his back gave off a particularly imposing presence. Senior Xiao Yongling specifically said that this had to be delivered to you. This junior did not dare inspect it in secret. I brought it straight back without opening it. Li Tongya closed his eyes and read through the jade slip with his spiritual sense. After a while, he gently placed it on the table. Linghai Commandery lies south of Lixia Commandery. It is one of the 5 commanderies under King Qi sect. This record mainly describes the great clans of Linghai over the last 200 years. The foremost clan there is the Yu clan of Linghai. The Yu clan once produced a son named Yu Wujie. He was a rare genius who cultivated a technique called the Coiling Qi Jade True Art. He eventually died in the southern border. When he said the words "died in the southern border," Li Tongya's brows tightened slightly. Something about the phrase made him deeply uncomfortable. He fell silent and passed the jade slip to Li Xuanfeng, indicating that he should read it as well. Li Xuanfeng quickly accepted it. He closed his eyes and skimmed through the contents. Before long, a thoughtful expression appeared on his face. This record covers the major events of Linghai Commandery over the last 2 centuries. I also noticed something unusual. Several sects and immortal clans changed Purple Mansion cultivators during that time. The destruction of Lingyu sect can be understood, but the circumstances surrounding the others are rather strange. The Chen clan under Golden Feather sect produced a Purple Mansion ancestor and occupied 8 towns. Not only did Golden Feather sect refuse to punish them, the sect even sent congratulatory gifts. Then there is Long Firmament Gate. When true man Long Firmament returned from the sea and announced that he wanted a place to establish his Dao lineage, another sect immediately offered several towns to him. Li Xuanfeng paused, then looked up in surprise. It all seems far too casual. Purple Mansion cultivators stand high above ordinary cultivators, Li Tongya said with a faint sigh. To them, these things are merely pieces on a board. After decades of witnessing shifting alliances and hidden schemes, he had already developed his own understanding of the great cultivators at that level. Sects, territories, disciples, and mortal populations are all cards in their hands. Purple Mansion cultivators live for centuries. They have watched generations rise and fall. In the end, only other Purple Mansion cultivators are truly worthy of their attention. He thought for several breaths, then continued. There is something else. Apart from the battle against Li Jiangxian's successors during the destruction of that immortal residence, have you ever heard of a Purple Mansion cultivator actually dying in battle? Most of them only die when their lifespan is exhausted. That suggests Purple Mansion cultivators generally cannot easily kill one another. That may explain what happened with the Chen clan ancestor. Even if Golden Feather sect tried to destroy the Chen clan, that Purple Mansion cultivator could simply escape. Afterward, would Golden Feather sect's disciples ever dare leave their mountain again? Li Xuanfeng listened carefully and nodded repeatedly. Li Tongya murmured, "If Xiao Chuding has truly reached the Purple Mansion realm, then Xiao Yongling giving us this jade slip is probably meant as some kind of hint." He put the jade slip away and shook his head. Regardless of what they are planning, strengthening ourselves is the most important thing. The clan still has too few qi refining cultivators. If our territory expands too quickly, we may not have enough strength to suppress it. Li Xuanfeng nodded respectfully. At present, the strongest cultivator beneath qi refining is Brother Xuanyuan. Even so, he will still need years of accumulation before he can cross from the 5th level of the embryonic breath realm into qi refining. It is not something that can be rushed. Li Tongya's own progress had also slowed considerably. His cultivation had risen too quickly several years earlier. He did not dare use pills to force it higher again so soon. Thus, he remained at the 5th level of qi refining without further advancement. Hearing Li Xuanfeng's words, he nodded. Some matters cannot be hurried. Li Xuanfeng lowered his head. This junior has another matter to report. Speak. Our clan is developing out here in relative isolation. We frequently lose contact with the commandery, and our information always arrives half a step too late. I think we should purchase some property inside Lixia commandery, and send a few clan disciples there to manage it. They can broaden their horizons and give the younger members something useful to do, instead of allowing them to idle around and invite trouble. Not bad. Li Tongya nodded with approval. You have thought this through more carefully than before. Li Xuanfeng scratched his head and laughed. If we establish a foothold in the commandery, then if the Xiao clan has news for us, they can simply pass it to our people there. We would not have to worry about information being delayed, nor would the Xiao clan need to send someone all the way here every time. Secondly, Wangyu Lake Market has collapsed. We still need somewhere to sell the talismans and ores our clan produces. The talismans are not a major issue, but the Shanyu do not understand metalworking. They prefer using spirit wood to make most of their weapons. Raw Kingwu ore sells very poorly among them. We can only take it to Cloudwatch Peak. If clan disciples are stationed in the commandery, they can watch the market for us. Whenever Cloudwatch Peak market opens, word can be sent home immediately. Li Tongya agreed that the proposal was sensible. He ordered someone to summon Li Xuanyuan so that the matter could be discussed properly. Li Xuanfeng, meanwhile, thought about how having clan property in the commandery would give him an excuse to visit the young woman he had left there more often. A faint trace of guilt surfaced in his heart. After speaking a little longer, he bowed to Li Tongya and left for the Kingwu mine, where it was his turn to stand guard. Construction on the mountain continued for more than half a year. Thanks to the immense manpower devoted to the project, the formation was finally completed before the end of the year. 8 elevated platforms stood upon the 2 peaks, shining brightly against the mountainside. Liu Changdie released a long breath of relief and went to find Li Xuanyan to collect the formation banners. Naturally, the banners of the mountain-protecting formation had to be provided by the Li clan itself. Their quality would directly determine the power of the Grand Array. Liu Changdie had mentioned this to Li Xuanyuan long ago, but Li Xuanyuan had kept the details vague and had never revealed exactly what the clan intended to use. When Liu Changdie entered the courtyard, he saw Li Xuanyuan wearing a simple leather robe and drawing talismans at a large table. The talisman base was woven cloth. The ink was a watery blue-green, so pale that the characters seemed almost translucent. Liu Changdie was curious, but he knew better than to ask about another cultivator's secret techniques. Beside the table sat a child of 4 or 5 years old. The boy watched Li Xuanyuan's every movement in complete silence and appeared unusually obedient. "Brother Xuanyuan," Liu Changdie called out. Li Xuanyuan nodded, set down his brush, and smiled. Liu Changdie looked at the child with some curiosity. In his supposed previous life, Liu Changdie had never met Li Xuanyuan. In fact, he had never met anyone of the Li clan's Xuan generation. Everything he knew about Li Xuanyuan came from Li Yuanjiao. Whenever Li Yuanjiao mentioned his father, he would always wave a hand dismissively and say, "That old man of mine, dull, completely dull." Back then, Liu Changdie had only laughed and had not dared comment. Now, after living among the Li clan for more than half a year, he had formed his own impression. Li Xuanyuan may be stern and rarely smiles, but he is meticulous. He exhausts himself for the sake of the clan. I have never seen him indulge in women, feasts, or luxury. He is worthy of respect. Looking toward the child beside the table, Liu Changdie smiled. And this young master is? My legitimate son. His name is Li Yuanjiao. Li Xuanyuan picked the boy up and answered warmly. Liu Changdie nodded in realization. He searched his memories carefully, but the name stirred nothing at all. He set the thought aside and returned to business. The formation patterns on all 8 platforms are complete. We can begin activating the grand formation. Li Xuanyuan's expression brightened. He patted the brocade pouch at his waist. 12 small white banners patterned in black flew into the air. They circled once, flashing with silver light before settling into his palm. Before Li Xuanyuan could say a word, Liu Changdie stared at them and exclaimed, "The white feather purple banners." Li Xuanyuan was taken aback. He had always known that the banners were valuable, but he had not expected Liu Chang to react so strongly. Indeed, Liu Changdie hurried forward and accepted them. He examined the banners with obvious admiration and could barely put them down. Guan Huaqian was once famous throughout all of Lixia Commandery. Everyone knew the white feather purple banners in his hands. Later, rumors claimed that they had been sold to a foundation establishment cultivator of King Qi's sect. How did your clan obtain them? Li Xuanyuan smiled awkwardly. The Liu clan found these banners after breaking through Huaqianshan. They later sold them to us. So they remained on Huaqianshan after all. Those old rumors truly misled everyone. Liu Changdie nodded in realization then sighed regretfully. I once viewed Huaqianshan from afar. Guan Huaqian could compensate for the mountain's terrible terrain and use such a low, narrow peak to construct an array capable of resisting a peak Qi refining cultivator. His mastery of formations was still above mine. Seeing his disappointment, Li Junwen quickly said, Master Liu's Sun-Rite Mystic Light formation can also resist a peak Qi refining cultivator. It is hardly inferior to Guan Huaqian's work. It is not the same. Liu Changdie shook his head. We had to build 8 elevated formation platforms. Did you ever see anything like that on Huaqianshan? Guan Huaqian used the terrain itself. His natural talent for formations was extraordinary. He ended the subject there and smiled at Li Xuanyuan. There is no reason to waste more time. Let us begin. Liu Changdie sat cross-legged and formed hand seals. The 12 white feather purple banners rose into the sky and streaked toward their designated positions. Each fell into the corresponding formation node. The carved patterns on the elevated platforms immediately lit up, releasing threads of golden light. Mount Lijing and Mixi mountain began glowing together. The ground trembled faintly. All workers and unrelated people had already been evacuated to the foot of the mountain. Streams of light drifted through the peaks, and golden radiance spread everywhere. Liu Changdie sat motionless with his eyes closed, adjusting the array for the time it took an incense stick to burn. At last, a magnificent golden grand formation appeared above the mountains, dazzling beneath the sunlight. I have not failed the task entrusted to me. Liu Changdie exhaled deeply and nodded. At that moment, Li Tongya entered the courtyard. Both men immediately rose and saluted. Senior, you have worked hard, Master Liu, Li Tongya replied. He was visibly satisfied with the formation and nodded toward Li Xuanyuan. Li Xuanyuan understood immediately. He tapped his brocade pouch and swept his sleeve over the table. Spirit stones as white and lustrous as jade clattered out in a pile. 100 spirit stones. They are all here. Master Liu may count them. Liu Changdie swept them once with his spiritual sense and confirmed the number instantly, but he waved his hand as though he could not care less. No need. With another wave, the entire pile vanished into his storage bag. He smiled. Now that the Sun-Rite Mystic Light formation is complete, I should return to the commandery. If I ever pass Wangyu Lake again and come to Mount Lijing to rest, Brother Xuanyuan, please remember not to activate the formation and blast me out of the sky. Of course not. Li Xuanyuan shook his head and laughed. If Brother Changdie comes to visit, I will personally welcome you. Liu Changdie laughed heartily. He respectfully bid farewell to Li Tongya and the others, then departed toward Lixia Commandery. Li Xuanyuan escorted him all the way beyond the Li clan's territory before returning home. Li Tongya remained beside the large table, carefully examining the talisman patterns drawn on the cloth. Li Yuanjiao stood nearby and timidly watched him. The child stared at the sword hanging from Li Tongya's waist for a long moment. Li Tongya noticed and smiled warmly. What is your name? Li Yuanjiao, the boy answered softly. Li Tongya laughed. Call me great-granduncle. Great-granduncle, Li Yuanjiao immediately called out. The child found the man before him strangely comforting. The nervousness he had felt after his father disappeared earlier quickly faded. He smiled and wrapped his arms around Li Tongya's leg, one small hand curiously gripping the hanging sword sheath. Li Jingtian descended the mountain wearing a white veiled hat. Several clan soldiers followed behind her as she walked along the stone road. Before long, an imposing residence appeared ahead. Blue bricks, black tiles, curved eaves, and clean stone steps polished until they almost shone. As she crossed the front steps, 2 clan soldiers came forward. "May we ask who?" Before they could finish, one of the soldiers behind Li Jingtian stepped forward and snapped. "What are you doing? Do you not recognize her? How dare you block the way?" Li Jingtian raised a hand to stop him. She gently lifted the veil. The 2 guards stiffened in shock and hurriedly stepped aside. Li Jingtian spoke softly. "Take me to your 7th, madam." "Yes." The guards led her through several corridors until they reached a small courtyard. A woman in ornate dress was planting flowers inside. When she saw a group of people approaching around Li Jingtian, she froze slightly, and unease entered her expression. "May I ask who you are?" Li Jingtian removed the veiled hat. Mu Yalu immediately stared, then hurriedly bowed. "Young lady, no need for such ceremony." Li Jingtian smiled gently. She exchanged a few polite words with Mu Yalu and asked about recent matters before looking toward the child in her arms. "Let me see, little Zhao." Mu Yalu stiffened for an instant but forced a smile and passed the baby over. Li Jingtian accepted him carefully. She examined the infant's complexion and pupils, confirming that his eyes were a deep black. Only then did she release a small breath. She hesitated before asking, "I heard that the former Shanhui Lord Jiangxian may have shared some blood ties with your family?" The words struck Mu Yalu like thunder. She immediately misunderstood. Terrifying possibilities exploded through her mind. Worse, Li Yuanjiao was still in Li Jingtian's arms. Mu Yalu dropped to her knees with a thud, trembling violently. "That is slander. Jiangxi was born a slave. My Mu lineage has been a hereditary shaman noble house for generations. How could we possibly be related?" "Young lady, someone must be trying to frame us." Her reaction startled Li Jingtian. Realizing the misunderstanding, she hurriedly supported Mu Yalu with one arm while still holding the child in the other. "Madam, you misunderstand! You misunderstand me!" Mu Yalu stared blankly for a moment, slowly calming. Li Jingtian was extremely perceptive. She immediately handed Li Yuanjiao back to Mu Yalu to show that she had no hostile intent, then apologized. "My words were poorly chosen. I am compiling the clan history at the request of the elders, and the ancestry of every direct line child must be recorded clearly. Even if Jiangxi truly shared blood with the Mu family, the Li clan would never place old grievances upon our own juniors." Mu Yalu remained only half convinced. A mother protecting her child could not allow even the slightest stain to be attached to him. She continued to insist that Jiangxi had been born a slave and had absolutely no connection with the Mu lineage. Li Jingtian had no choice but to change the subject. She asked about Mu Yalu's life in the household and exchanged ordinary pleasantries until the woman finally relaxed. Then Li Jingtian dismissed the attendants and looked carefully at Mu Yalu's expression. After some hesitation, her gaze moved across the woman's clothing and she spoke quietly. "My elder brother gives his entire heart to the clan. Inevitably, he can be cold or neglectful in matters of the household. If you or your son ever face any difficulty, send someone up the mountain to find me." Mu Yalu froze, then hurriedly nodded and thanked her in a low voice. She watched Li Jingtian leave with her attendants. Only after they disappeared did Mu Yalu carry Li Yuanjiao inside, kiss his tiny face, and think anxiously. "No matter what, I can never acknowledge those rumors. Xuanyuan is stubborn. If he begins to suspect anything, he may develop a knot in his heart toward the child." After all, Jiangxi indirectly drove the previous Li clan head, Li Xiangping, to his death. Li Xuanfeng is also extremely powerful. I cannot take that risk. Li Jingtian seems kind-hearted. She should not allow such rumors to spread. As long as this does not reach the ears of the principal wife, the matter should end here. Mu Yalu placed little Yuanjiao on the bed and smiled at him. Soft moonlight poured through the window as she bowed her head and prayed for the child using an ancient Shanyu shamanic rite. Outside the courtyard, Li Jingtian quietly instructed the clan soldier beside her. "Send someone to warn a Huilot. Tell him to keep his mouth shut. If those rumors reach the mountain, no one will be able to protect him." The soldier immediately departed. Li Jingtian walked back up the stone road. A nearby courtyard was brightly lit, and conversation could be heard within. She asked the guard at the entrance, "Who is inside?" "Young lady, Lord Chen broke through to the Jade Capital Wheel today. The clan head was pleased and kept him here to talk for a while." "Oh?" Li Jingtian nodded slightly. Chen Donghe was 2 years younger than Li Xuanyuan, yet he had now reached the 5th level of the embryonic breath realm. Compared with Li Xuanfeng, it was nothing remarkable, but among the surrounding clans it was still impressive. She shook her head and turned to leave. Then she suddenly stopped. Someone stood directly in her path. A black longbow rested across his back, and a quiver hung at his waist. It was Li Xuanfeng, brother. Li Jingtian's expression became complicated when she looked at her twin brother. Because Li Xuanfeng had reached Qi refining, his appearance had remained youthful. He actually looked slightly younger than Li Jingtian now. Since he began cultivating at 7, he had spent most of his time inside the cave dwelling on Mixi mountain. Later, he wandered the mountains hunting demonic beasts. The siblings had seen each other less and less over the years. Li Xuanfeng frowned. "Why do you keep avoiding me?" He studied her expression, certain something was wrong. "Are you hiding something from me?" Li Jingxian sighed softly and forced a smile. "In 2 months, I will marry Deng Hema." "What?" Li Xuanfeng froze. In the next instant, the entire situation connected inside his head. He finally understood why no one had informed him and why he had heard nothing. His aura surged violently. "Are you willing? Did Brother Xuanyuan use you to tie Chen Donghe to the clan?" Li Jingxian knew exactly how fierce her brother's temperament could be. If she let him misunderstand, there was no telling what terrible thing he might do. She hurriedly laughed. "Brother, if I did not want this, who in the clan would dare force me? Stop imagining things." Only then did Li Xuanfeng calm slightly. He stared at her suspiciously and gritted his teeth. "Truly? Truly. Even so, that bastard quietly stole my little sister away. I still need to beat him once before I can feel satisfied." With that, Li Xuanfeng turned and marched into the courtyard. Almost immediately, a series of crashes and metallic clangs rang out from inside. Li Jingtian covered her mouth and laughed. Yet deep within her heart, worry remained. She quietly walked toward the neighboring courtyard. Lu Sisi rode the wind toward the middle of Mount Lijing. Spiritual power gathered in his eyes. At once, the entire mountain before him became a sea of brilliant golden light. He was stunned. What an impressive formation. Envy immediately rose in his heart. This array must have cost a fortune. They are probably using the white feather purple banners. But where did Li Tongya find a formation master capable of arranging something like this? The Li clan really is becoming wealthy. He circulated his spiritual power and sent a voice transmission toward the mountain. Lu clan's Lu Sisi has come to visit fellow Taoist Li Tongya. I ask that fellow Taoist open the grand formation. Before long, a narrow opening large enough for one person appeared in the formation. Lu Sisi passed through the shining sunlight barrier. Li Tongya was already waiting for him inside, dressed in white robes. "Brother Tongya." Lu Sisi cupped his hands. Li Tongya quickly led him into the courtyard, but he could not hide his surprise. The man before him looked almost like a different person. Lu Sisi's long white hair had lost its smooth, snowy luster. A dead grayness had entered it. The wrinkles on his face had deepened, his eyes had become dull, and his left hand trembled faintly from time to time. A bitter smile rested on his face. Li Tongya asked with complicated emotion, "Senior Lu, how did you become like this?" "The world is difficult. I have made a fool of myself before Brother Tongya." For the past 2 years, Lu Sisi had spent nearly every day running from place to place, unable to rest. He had traveled throughout the eastern mushroom forest plains. Whenever he heard of a promising young cultivator, he personally visited them, hoping to secure another path of survival for the Lu clan. A man nearly 200 years old had repeatedly swallowed his pride and flattered cultivators younger than his own grandchildren, enduring humiliation for the sake of his descendants. Those 2 years had aged him more than the previous 20. Li Tongya sighed and shook his head. He knew the old man probably did not have many years left. Still, sympathy did not mean weakness. Once Lu Sisi died, the Lu clan could forget about keeping its current share of the Qingwu mine. Shan itself would most likely fall into the Li clan's hands sooner or later. Li Tongya sat in the main seat and asked mildly, "What guidance has Senior brought today?" "I would not dare call it guidance." Lu Sisi quickly waved his hand. "Does Brother Li still remember Wangyu Lake Market?" "Of course." After the battle at Wangyu Lake, the market had become a ruin. The grand formations still operated around the island in the middle of the lake. Even Foundation establishment cultivators were unwilling to approach it casually. The surrounding clans had long coveted the island's rich spiritual qi, but none of them possessed a treasure like the Thunder Formation breaking spike. They had no means to deal with the remaining Thunder and Fire severing array. Anything truly valuable inside the market had already been plundered by Foundation establishment cultivators, so the island was eventually left untouched. Lu Sisi leaned forward. "A few days ago, I passed the lake and saw a large ship filled with mortals. They were searching the ruins." "Mortals?" Li Tongya immediately frowned. Lu Sisi did not keep him waiting. Those wandering cultivators entered the commandery and deceived groups of mortals, promising them wealth and a chance at immortality. Then they carried them by ship to the island's perimeter and forced them to enter the formation to retrieve things. A severing formation sacrifices stability and completeness in exchange for raw power. It has many flaws. If one throws 1 or 2,000 mortals into it, there is a chance that one of them will slip through alive. The formation is incomplete against those entering from the outside, but once someone gets inside, leaving is relatively easy. Li Tongya remained silent for a breath. And what exactly is Senior proposing? Lu Sisi slapped his thigh and grinned eagerly. How can we let those people profit like that? Li Tongya raised an eyebrow. Lu Sisi's expression had become openly greedy. The things left on that island should belong to us, the clans around Wangyu Lake. This is a business that requires almost no investment. Why should wandering cultivators take everything for themselves? I want to call the An clan and the other nearby families. We wipe out the wandering cultivators' boats and take over the business ourselves. Whichever clan supplies the mortal who manages to enter can keep whatever that person brings back. What does Brother Tongya think? Li Tongya sat quietly in the main seat. For a moment, he remembered the corpses piled like mountains along the ancient Li Road years ago, so many bodies that they had blocked the road entirely. His teacup paused halfway to his lips. He looked at Lu Sisi and smiled faintly. Would the Yu clan want a share of such a business? What about the other clans around the lake? If Senior Lu jumps into this without first understanding the intentions of every surrounding family, you may simply end up preparing the wedding robes for someone else. Lu Sisi froze. He had become excited the moment he saw those boats and had rushed here before properly considering the situation. Now he laughed awkwardly. Brother Tongya is more thorough than this old man. I was impulsive. Li Tongya set down his cup. Lu Sisi racked his brain for other topics and forced several more conversations, but Li Tongya eventually sent him away with polite words. The old man left somewhat dejected. Li Tongya watched him go and sighed inwardly. His time is almost up. Even his mind is not as sharp as before. The island has already been searched again and again by Foundation establishment cultivators of every background. Even if someone managed to enter, what could possibly remain worth taking? Why waste so much effort? Yet after seeing Lu Sisi off, Li Tongya found himself filled with melancholy. He lifted his teacup, then set it down again and smiled bitterly. Everyone trembles beneath the Purple Mansion cultivators. Life and death can be decided by a single thought from above, but mortals are slaughtered and used by clans just as clans are used as pieces by Purple Mansion cultivators. From top to bottom, it is all the same. He shook his head. Then another thought struck him. If our clan did not possess a treasure capable of gathering incense faith from mortals and refining it into Jiangxian, would we truly have defended all 4 towns when Jiangxian's army came against us? The question sent a chill through his heart. Li Tongya immediately pushed those thoughts aside. Before Purple Mansion cultivators, the Li clan was still nothing more than an ant. This was not the time to indulge in such reflections. He calculated the date. According to the method recorded in the worship rite, the next period for offering sacrifices to the ancient mirror and condensing Jiangxi was approaching. It was time to begin preparing Jiangxi for the younger generation. I should visit that fox again. Perhaps I can also learn the locations of a few chi-refining demonic beasts without powerful backgrounds, and use them as sacrificial offerings. Li Tongya left the courtyard and rose into the air. Following the familiar mountain route westward, he searched for a while before locating the enormous banyan tree with pale leaves beneath a cliff. The tree stood alone on the mountainside. The white banyan fox lay beneath it with its legs stretched out, lazily staring at the sky. When Li Tongya descended, the fox opened its mouth and spoke in a languid tone. Brother Tongya, what wind blows you to my humble place today? Over the past 3 years, the fox and Li Tongya had met many times. Their relationship had become quite familiar. The fox accepted the bag of spirit rice Li Tongya handed over and immediately stuffed some into its mouth. Its eyes narrowed into slits of contentment. As usual, it began recounting everything it had heard or seen in the mountains during recent months. I heard King Wei Peak produced a sword immortal. That old pig was so frightened that he stayed hidden for months, afraid Xianbai would come looking for him. He thinks he might become the whetstone Xianbai leaves behind for that disciple. Li Tongya stared. Your information is surprisingly fast. Of course! The fox flicked its tail proudly and lowered its voice mysteriously. My uncle serves Lord Three-Eared White Fox on the southern slopes of Great Li Mountain. He heard it while the Great Ones were chatting. Lord Three-Eared White Fox is extremely powerful. He only needs to lie down facing the commandery and listen for a while, and every piece of news travels into his ears. A Foundation establishment fox demon? Purple Mansion! The white banyan fox shook its head and gave Li Tongya an incredulous look. Why do you think cultivators at Purple Mansion are called great cultivators and demon beasts at that level are called great demons? Inside the Purple Mansion, one condenses a divine ability. It is nothing like an ordinary spell. Its nature depends on the Tao Foundation and can produce all kinds of mysterious transformations. It is incredibly powerful. Li Tongya quickly committed those words to memory. Today's bag of spirit rice had already paid for itself. He patted the fox on the head and shook his own. I am only a chi-refining cultivator. I may never reach Foundation establishment in this lifetime. No matter how impressive Purple Mansion is, it has little to do with me. Then he smiled faintly. My younger brother has already reached Foundation establishment. If he returns from the southern border, reaching Purple Mansion within 100 years should not be impossible. The smile on his face deepened. If I am fortunate enough to live a long life, perhaps I may even see the day he enters the Purple Mansion realm. The white banyan fox curled its lip and chittered. Then that would be good. Just make sure he does not end up like Yu Wujie. That man cultivated Taiyan Moonlight into an excellent Dao foundation, only to become an alchemical ingredient for the great Jiao. The words struck Li Tongya like a bolt of thunder. His mind went completely blank. He leapt to his feet so abruptly that his aura surged outward. What did you say? The white banyan fox had never seen him react like this. Its fur stood on end, and it tumbled backward in alarm. Yu! Wuji! Li Tongya's expression was chaotic. He took a long breath and forced himself to calm down. Then he patted his storage bag and threw a much larger sack of spirit rice onto the ground. His voice was hoarse despite his attempt at composure. Tell me everything you know about Yu Wujie. The fox did not even dare touch the rice. It chittered nervously and answered, I heard it while serving the great lords. Yu Wujie once refined a strand of Taiyan Moonlight near Wangyu Lake and used it to forge a Dao foundation called the White Jade Disc. He also wandered through these mountains. His twin swords beat back demon beasts everywhere he went. Later, he died in the southern border. The fox swallowed. Afterward, I heard that a Dao foundation forged from Taiyan Moonlight possessed unusually mysterious properties. King Shi therefore sent him to a great Jiao in the southern border to be refined into a pill. And King Shi has done this more than once. Li Tongya swayed. He dropped heavily to the ground. His face was deathly pale as he stared at the scattered spirit rice in silence. Li Chijing had not sent a single letter home for decades. The Xiao clan had repeatedly sent in strange warnings and hints. Now the fox's words connected everything. Li Tongya pressed his lips together without speaking. The white banyan fox watched him sit there in shock. It lowered its head and quietly gathered the scattered spirit rice into the bag, not daring to make another sound. After a long time, Li Tongya finally recovered enough to speak. He looked at the frightened fox curled into a ball before him. Thank you for telling me. Keep the spirit rice as payment. With that, he rose into the air and flew toward Mount Lijing. The fox ran several steps after him, calling out in confusion. Why did he leave so much spirit rice this time? Li Tongya reached Mount Lijing and passed through the shining golden sunlight mystic light formation. He went directly to the rear courtyard, pushed open the stone chamber, and respectfully brought out the ancient mirror. His spiritual sense entered it. There, he clearly saw two bright, perfectly rounded talisman seeds. Liu Jiangxian's divine sense drifted outward and silently watched him. Worried that Li Tongya might notice something suspicious, Liu Jiangxian concealed the three newly formed seeds and left only the two that mattered visible. The middle-aged man before him had gone completely pale. His lips were tightly pressed together, and both hands trembled uncontrollably. Nearly half a day passed before Li Tongya finally seemed to regain his strength. Color suddenly returned to his face. Only then did tears begin flowing. He clenched the sword his waist so tightly that his knuckles turned white. Chijing! The cry tore from him. Tears rolled down the middle-aged man's face. Good! Very good, King Chi! His naturally cautious temperament forced the words to stop there. Li Tongya wept for more than 10 breaths before suddenly coughing up a mouthful of blood. The pain and dizziness finally cleared enough for him to regain control. He wiped the blood from his lips and respectfully returned the ancient mirror to the stone altar. Then he bowed deeply, tears still staining his face, and walked out of the ancestral hall. He drew a long breath. Chijing? Chijing, I misjudged Xuanbai. I pushed you into the fire myself. Your second brother failed you. His hand tightened around the sword hilt. He remembered the letters Li Chijing had sent home year after year, the cultivation techniques he had painstakingly exchanged for the family, the 5 spirit stones he had saved through frugality. The grief became almost unbearable. Second brother will remember this debt. Chijing? Night covered the mountain. Fine rain drifted along the dark paths. A lamp still burned in Li Jingtian's courtyard. She sat at a table with her brush raised, recording information she had gathered from elderly villagers during the day. A sheet of cloth covered some of the notes before her. She paused and calculated the dates again. According to the old Chen family villagers, when great-grandfather was 30, grandfather had already left home. He only returned 28 years later, by which time great-grandfather had already died. If that is correct, grandfather advanced from an ordinary mortal to Foundation establishment in only 28 years. His talent truly was extraordinary. Even little uncle in the sect needed around 30 years. And grandfather began as an unaffiliated cultivator. To progress that quickly is astonishing. Li Jingqian carefully recorded the dates. Then her brows drew together. Something felt wrong. If that timeline is correct, why did father once say that grandfather only began cultivation at 14? Would that not mean he reached the mystic realm wheel in only a few months? Perhaps I remembered incorrectly. She stared at the white cloth before her. The history of only a few decades ago seemed strangely obscured. It had not been long at all, yet most of the details had already vanished. In his later years, Li Mutian had spent decades without descending the mountain, making it almost impossible for her to reconstruct many events. How strange! Li Jingtian lowered her head. A soft knock sounded at the door. She hurriedly covered the records before her with a cloth and asked, "Who is it?" "It is me." Li Tongya waved his sleeve and entered the courtyard. The fine night rain did not touch him at all. His robes remained completely dry, but grief lingered heavily between his brows. "Second uncle? Please come in." Li Jingtian stood quickly to welcome him. Li Tongya waved a hand, and a gentle force pushed her back into her seat. He entered, sat beside the table, picked up one of the wooden slips nearby and read it. Then he nodded. "You have done well." Li Jingtian lowered her eyes respectfully. Li Tongya spoke in a low voice. "There is an important matter I came to discuss with you. Clan history often touches upon secrets that cannot be shown to ordinary descendants. I want you to divide it into 2 records. One will be the inner history. It will be sealed inside the ancestral hall and forbidden to ordinary descendants. The other will be the public clan history, written according to normal records." He looked at her. "I will speak. You record it." Li Jingtian nodded obediently and raised her brush. Li Tongya began to dictate. Time slowly passed. The expression on Li Jingtian's face changed again and again. Her heart shook violently. Many of the terms Li Tongya mentioned words such as guiding and reception ware things she barely understood. Yet even through those unfamiliar concepts, she could vaguely sense the conspiracies of Purple Mansion cultivators hidden behind the events. Her hands began to tremble. At last she heard Li Tongya say, "He cultivated without rest and eventually forged his Tao foundation, whose mysteries were extraordinary. He condensed a sword intent called Moon Jade, suppressed Chijing in battle, and his name shook the sects." Li Tongya's voice became even lower. "A Purple Mansion cultivator of King Qi saw him and sent him to the Great Jiao in the southern border. There, he was refined into a human pill and consumed together with the demon Jiao.